My wife and I were together for 7 years and married for 5. She recently cheated on me with a coworker, and now we're getting divorced. 6 months after separating, I'm happier than ever and enjoying my freedom, so I thought I'd share my story. We never planned to have kids, but we had many great plans for the future. We always agreed on the direction we wanted our lives to go. In February, she started a new job and met a coworker who was 38 years old. After 2 weeks of training, I noticed she was chatting a lot with this guy. I wasn't the jealous type and never doubted her loyalty because our industry is mostly male, and she's always been around men at work. But I saw that she was texting this guy a lot, so I brought it up twice in March. She assured me that he was just a friend and there was nothing to worry about. They talked a lot because they were both Christians and shared common interests like the Bible. Even though I'm not religious, she said she would stop talking to him if it made me uncomfortable, but I knew they would be training together again at the end of March. I knew it's impossible, so I didn't stop her. I asked her if she's happy in this marriage, or even before this event. I would constantly check on her to see if there's anything I could improve or just see if she's doing okay in this marriage. I never got any kind of negative feedback, even up to mid-March. She was still saying I'm the best thing that happened in her life. Fast forward to the end of March. She was leaving to somewhere else for her job training for her new job again for a month. In the first couple days she was in training, everything was fine, and the interactions between us were normal. After the first week, we started fighting a lot. Part of me has to admit it was my fault, because I was going through some of the stuff in my life, and I was being pretty emotional. But I also started feeling like she started becoming distant, and having some strange ideas about the future that didn't even sound like things she would say, and it made me start feeling weird, and we barely argue over anything. I can't even remember when our last really big fight was before April. I felt bad for having to argue with her over things during her training, because I know how important it was for her. But mainly we were fighting over. She didn't really keep the boundary between her and the guy, and I knew for the fact that he was pursuing her. Finally, she brought up that she needs some space and time to think about our relationship and future, and she told me she still loves me, but it's not the same anymore. I was in lots of confusion, but I respected her and gave her some time because at the moment I didn't really know what's going on. Shortly after a couple of days, she brought up divorce over FaceTime. My world collapsed, and at that moment I still had no idea what was going on, but I had a gut feeling she might be leaving with the person. Finally, she came home in mid-May. I went to the airport to pick her up, and as soon as I saw her, I knew she wasn't the same person. After a month and a half apart, she wouldn't even give me a hug. When we got home, she didn't even unpack her luggage. That first night, she looked me in the eyes and told me she wanted a divorce and didn't love me anymore. I was deeply hurt, but I still hoped we could fix things, thinking maybe our arguments had pushed her away. The next day, she acted completely different, saying she wanted to clean the house for me and make some good memories before she left. It felt strange, and I sensed she was hiding something. For the first time in 7 years, I went through her phone. I found out that before she came back, she was already in a relationship with this guy and had signed a lease to move in with him. This was just a month and a half after she left home at the end of March. She even told him she was willing to give up everything to start a new life with him. I still feel bad for going through her phone because I had never done that before, and it felt like I crossed a line. But I took screenshots of their conversations and pretended I didn't know, just to see how far she would go with her lies. Over the next few days, I kept asking her questions about her and this guy, but she never gave me honest answers. Finally, one night, I got frustrated enough to confront her. I started questioning her and got mad. She started blaming me on my issues, and that's why we can never be together. She was lying until the very last moment, even though we were having some heated arguments. She then decided to leave that night, and the first thing after she left, I sent her all the screenshots I had and told her I already knew everything. It was just I was really trying to see how far she would push this thing. She said they only started their relationship after she brought up divorce, so it's not cheating. She also told me she has been wanting out for the longest time, just waiting for the right moment, because I'm very controlling and abusive. Seeing her leave and knowing that might be the last time I see this person in my life might be one of the hardest things to see in my life. Until the very last moment, I was almost just asking her to be honest with me and give this marriage some respect. She was my greatest wife for 7 years. I don't understand how she could have changed in such a short period of time, and that until this day still leaves me with lots of confusion and questions. I know all the past, and the love she had for me was real. But how could that just disappear like that? Shortly after she moved out, I hired a lawyer and filed for divorce already. She said she doesn't want the bags I bought her, the house, cars, or any spouse support or money. She just wants out. I don't really want to make this decision, but at the same time I can't afford for her to change her mind. I took care of the paperwork immediately, and it's already signed and returned. It's been 2 months since she told me she wanted a divorce, and I'm doing much better now. I'm focusing on myself and trying to build a new life and become a better person. I know our relationship wasn't perfect, and neither am I, but it's hard to believe she left our marriage, started a new relationship, and moved in with someone else all in less than 2 months. What hurts the most are the memories we shared, everything we built together, and the plans we had for the future. I may never understand how things could change so quickly just because she met someone new. Update. Hey everyone, I was joking before about her getting married again soon. I never thought I'd actually have some updates for you so quickly. I knew she was ring shopping and looking for places to get married when I saw her browsing history when I went through her phone. But at that moment, I didn't really think that much. That's why I didn't even mention it. Today, she reached out to me and asked if a divorce case has been filed and settled. When will she get the divorce certificate? I didn't respond to her text, as I don't think I'm obligated to respond to this kind of subject. But I found that laughable. When she brought up divorce, she said she did lots of research and stuff already. How could she not know that where we live requires 6 months of cooling off period from the date? The last person gets served with paperwork, which was June 10th, I believe, and she's already rushing, asking about when she will get a divorce certificate. Is she really that desperate to get married again? This whole timeline is so strange and messed up that it almost has to be true. No one could make this up. I think she's already met the guy's family too. I can't help but wonder what kind of magic this person has. We went from everything being fine, to her leaving and wanting a divorce, to them moving in together, and now she's talking about getting married in just 3-4 months. She even said in a text that she's willing to give up everything to be with him. Something isn't right with her or with them. Having a fling. That's bad, but whatever. If she wanted to leave me, it's horrible, but okay. She moved on to someone else, and it hurts, but fine. But jumping straight from one marriage to another, just thinking about that is madness and really unstable. The guy must have said or promised something to make her think this way, but why would a guy do that? Just limerence or a fair fog would make people go this crazy and irrational. At this pace, I do believe the day after our official marriage termination date is the day they're going to get married. Update 6 months later. Okay, I know it's not exactly 6 months from when I posted, but it has been almost 6 months since the day I thought my world collapsed. Our official marriage termination date is coming up, so I thought I would share some experiences on this journey of recovery. I have been really focused on myself and thriving in my life. Ever since this happened, I have been traveling around the world. Hawaii, Amsterdam, Vietnam, Taiwan, Australia, Norway, Germany, and I still have another trip planned to go to Korea, and maybe one more place that I don't know where yet. The job has been awesome, and I think it is already well established. I don't have to worry about where I go or what I'm doing to do with my career. I have been hitting the gym 5 times a week, eating well, and trying out lots of new recipes while I'm cooking so I can expand my cooking profile. I also reconnected with lots of old friends and made some new friends. I have been looking for myself and trying to build a whole new life without letting my old life and memories trap me in the past. Do I miss her from time to time? It would be a lie if I said I don't. Do I still think about what happened or the things and dreams we had? Yes, I still do. I remember when I was in Oslo, where we always wanted to go. I took a picture, and out of nowhere I thought of her. I didn't feel sad. It was just a strange moment that made me think of her. The first 2 months, from when she told me she wanted a divorce to when I found out she was already in a relationship, were really tough. I won't lie, it felt like hell. But on my birthday in June, I decided that it would be the first day of my new life. I promised myself that a year from that day, I'd look back and be proud of how far I've come. Things have gotten a lot better. I think about everything less often now, and when I do, it doesn't hurt as much as it used to. It took me some time to forgive myself, and I've even realized that I've forgiven her and the person she was with. I don't feel hate or anger towards them anymore. I actually wish them the best, and their relationship goes well. If this is what both of them wanted to pursue in their lives, I had lots of hate, wished bad things on them, or just wanted their relationship to blow up. But I realized how unhealthy that was, and it was only holding me back from becoming a better person. At the end of the day, I also don't want that to happen to anyone. I'm not perfect, and there were things I could have done better in that relationship. I learned from that lesson, then moved on. I also realized that the true acceptance of everything is that nothing about her bothers me anymore. I feel somewhat normal now. I still don't know what the future holds or what is going to be my new life goal yet. I know I'm lucky in this situation because I still have my house, cars, and all my savings and investments untouched. This gives me the freedom to plan and do the things I want. I've gone out with a few girls, but for now, I think it's healthier to stay single until I meet the right person. And when I do, I'll know. Someone once told me that what seems like the worst thing in your life at the moment can actually lead to something wonderful, a blessing in disguise. Looking back on everything that's happened since she left, even though I wasn't in a good place emotionally, I see that it has all been positive and has brought my life in a better direction. I hope this gives you some positivity as well, as we all need to move on. Second story, I met a guy about 11 months ago through a dating app. We went on one date, but I didn't like him much at first. By chance, he ended up joining the gym I was training at. He asked me out again, and though I wasn't sure at first, I eventually agreed. We ended up dating for about 3 months. He told me he had a newborn daughter, which seemed a bit suspicious, but he assured me he had broken up with the baby's mother. I ended things with him after noticing some red flags, but a few months later, we reconnected and started seeing each other again. Last night, I invited him over after our gym session. After we had sex, I was lying on his chest and noticed he was wearing a necklace with a fingerprint on it. I asked if it was his daughter's fingerprint, and he said yes. My heart sank. I knew the name of the baby's mother, so I pushed him to tell me the truth, and he finally admitted he had been with her the entire time. I was furious and yelled at him to never speak to me again. I found out who she was and told her everything. She was thankful, but also very upset, especially because they have a daughter together, which makes the situation even more messed up. The guilt I feel is overwhelming, like a heavy weight on my chest. I tried talking to some friends, but they just said things like, "Why does this stuff always happen to you?" I feel completely helpless and beside myself. I would never sleep with or even kiss someone who has a partner because I have childhood trauma from my dad cheating on my mom. I'd really appreciate any advice on dating moving forward or just some reassuring words to help me through this.